Now, the following gentleman that was announced as a presenter within this afternoon's group, Mr. Ahmed Reza Sheikhi from Iran, was unable to join us. So we go on further and give the floor to Susan Rowe from the Museum of Texas Tech University, the United States.
Hi, everybody. My name's Susan Rowe. I'm the Education Program Manager at the Museum of Texas Tech University. The unit is called the Lubbock Lake Landmark, and I want to just give everybody a howdy from Texas. I'm in Lubbock, Texas, and for those of you who have not been to the States and are not familiar but know about Houston and Dallas, we are northwest of Dallas, about 4 hours, maybe half a day journey, and about 10 hours from Houston, which is Houston's southeast, so it's about a day's journey to Houston. So we're way up in the corner where all the wind blows and all the dust blows and flows. So let me get out of here with this. Oh, while I'm doing this, why don't everyone just kind of stand up? Everyone stand up. We're educators. Let's be interactive for a second while we do this. Take a deep breath. And now I'm not as nervous as I was before, so maybe. Oh, wait, hold on. Stay there. Move around. Now sit down. Thank you. As I was going through the list of questions for this conference, which this is my first conference, I've been overseas a few times, but not by myself and not at a really great conference like this. I am so thrilled to be here, and I've learned so much, and I have lots of ideas I'm taking home with me, and maybe I'll be back next year to share something, I'm not sure. But when I first read these questions, I thought about where I was located and the fact that we're part of the university, and we do have museum science classes at graduate level and historic maintenance and heritage management courses at a graduate level. The role that we have to play in educating, and I'm going to use that term loosely because there are a lot of folks in the area, the rural area of Texas where I'm from, that would take that rather harshly and having, you know, what's this young person coming in here trying to tell me how to run my museum kind of thing. So a lot of the museums that are outside of Lubbock in the rural areas are run by volunteers, retired people, that it's not a job, but it's a labor of love. You know, they're proud of their local heritage, and they do the best they can to do a great job, but they don't have the financial responsibility or financial whereabouts to come to conferences and to take part in these kinds of things. So I think it's important for those of us that are educated in the museum field, museum educators. I think it's important for us to be responsible to help them deliver quality programming and deliver I guess just quality programming. I can't think of what else we need to say. But I have 3 ideas, and I haven't done a lot of research on this. I'm using my own experience as the research and the kinds of things that I think in my area of the world are important. These are standards, a personal philosophy of education, and peer relationships or relationship with colleagues. Now, yesterday, we went to a really cool museum. I thought it was really interesting about the Neanderthal man. But the Lubbock Lake Landmark is an archaeological site and a nature preserve. And we tell the story of occupation in North America the last 12,000 years. Now, we don't have any human remains. We have their stone tools, their bone tools, projectile points. And we've also have full skeletal remains of animals, like this bison antiquus. This is from 8,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago. He roamed the prairies, and you might know the American bison were really prevalent on the plains for a long time. And we talk about the animals and those that were growing here, and the fact this was a source of water, and how this was a place where people came for hunting and hunter-gatherers and that kind of thing. So I'd like to first talk about standards. And I think that standards that are well crafted and maybe included into your strategic plan for the museum really helps guide a museum educator into the way or the focus that they need to go into maybe, and help them to keep things organized and to keep things at the level of quality that they desire. In Texas especially, we are really forced in the museums to go along the teaching standards because we really want people to come into the museum and even go out to the schools as an outreach, but as to bring those people in, the kids in, we have to align with those TEKs. So it's really important for us to have those standards so we can keep our doors open, basically. The next thing I think about is a personal philosophy in education. This is our great TP, and it's a lot of fun. The kids have a good time running around in it. But we have to have a philosophy of education. I think that a written philosophy allows the educator to reflect on his or her personal views, the nature of knowledge, and the act of taking time to consider your goals, consider your actions in the vision, and that provides the opportunity for your development. I knew I was going too slow. I knew it. But more importantly, I think this philosophy connects the museum professional to what they enjoy, and a way to reflect on their personal growth and to reveal existing challenges in the museum that they might have. I think the final is peer relationships or colleagues, mentors, organizational partners, collaborators. They're all participants in this relationship. Museum educators, we're pretty resourceful, I think. We're creative, we're enthusiastic, we're really smart. And we, like we've heard all these past couple days, don't want to reinvent the wheel, but we want activities and curriculum and projects that really work. So a good way for us to get these ideas, and as I said earlier, I'm getting a lot of them right here. To get these ideas, we have to develop these relationships and these networks. For example, I belong to a collaboration in my region. It's called the South Plains Education Resource Collaborative, and it is non-formal and formal educators, and we do just these kinds of things. You know, you have a partnership with the organizations, and they're all dedicated to the same thing, to help the children and to help your visitors. And these relationships expand knowledge. They're a really good stress reliever, and a good way to build friendships, like I see a lot of you have friendships with each other. So in my conclusion, I think the strength of the museum profession lies in the flexibility, the structure, and the responsiveness to colleagues. The colleagues' needs are local, national, and even international. I think being aware of these needs and actions for others is vital in us working together. So when professional museum educators realize the uniqueness of their role as the source of rich learning experiences, they gain motivation to create and strengthen relationships. Success then lies in the awareness of and a willingness to work toward meeting these kinds of needs. The challenge of providing learning experiences with increasingly limited funds underscores the role that formally educated museum professionals play in the quality of the education. So when we create standards, philosophies, and develop these relationships, we are investing in people and the future of the museums. Thank you so very much for your time.